All right. What is going on, Tigs? Wigs. Happy Monday to everybody. Good to see y'all. We're going to talk. We got a good little show here tonight, I do believe. Going to kind of recap the weekend a little bit about what all went down over here on my end of the deal, and then talk about some of the trending topics like we've been doing on these shows. Blasey and I recorded our Bubba Army podcast tonight earlier, about a couple hours ago. Spoiler alert, he is in Dallas, Texas. Currently, he should be eating at, I think he said he was going to Dino's Steakhouse. So looking forward to seeing what the heck he stirs up in Dallas. And he had a nice little road set up, which is always nice. So he's started a new job. He is going like crazy. We're having to get our shows in when we can, and that's fine, but we're going to keep doing these every night as well so we can just keep up on putting out content. Well, coming in hot tonight, who else is it but Big E? What is going on, Big E? It's good to see you. He says he is here and he is present. Wouldn't be a show without our friend, Mr. Paul Rogers. What's going on, Paul? What is happening? Inbound Realty, LLC. Hey, what is happening, Inbound? Thanks for joining us. T. Wayne Foster is in the house. So, it is going to be a fun night. Well, I'm hoping we're going to keep it tight tonight. Number one, we're going to go 30 minutes, maybe even a little less tonight. I do have to go and help my dad after I wrap this up. He's he had a flat on his tire, kind of a he had a similar situation to what I had. If y'all listen to the recap of the Bart party and being on the road, well, my tires started going down after we had a little wreck and all of that stuff. And I pulled into a Hampton Inn, was able to park and let it just go flat. Well, my dad came back from North Louisiana. He pulled into his condo that they have down here, and bam, flat tire. So I gotta go help him. He had the good folks at AAA come and help him get it there. I gotta go pick him up and take him to it. Flat tires, yeah, they do. They seem to run in the family. I've had them. I would rather have flat tires and deal with that any day of the week than wrecks. So I can change a tire. I've kind of gotten good at it, though. Much like my dad, they had a problem. The key where you unlock the thing, you use your ignition key, at least on Chevrolets, and mine wouldn't come out. I had to get them to help me. He got under there, tapped it out, and was able to make it work. Oiled it down, WD-40'd it, and all that. But man, that's we have had a run. Oh yeah, look at Jay. What's up, Jay from NOLA? Great seeing you at Bart. Great seeing you, man. That was like probably my biggest surprise of the whole deal. That you were there, and I just somehow or another forget how much in the Bubba Army you are, and I know you, which is crazy. But man, so good seeing you. Thank you for introducing me to so many people, you and Big E. Thank you both, because y'all just helped it out. I didn't have to worry about that. It could be awkward going to these kind of events, and you don't know anybody. I can fit in with anybody. I can talk to a wall. That's why we're here doing this. Well, I think they do. I think they do know our history now, Jay. I think we let them know for sure. But yeah, you can, sometimes you just forget, and I'm blowing and going, and we're wide open. So let me get back to I lost my show notes, y'all. I can't do this without the show notes. All right. So I did want to talk about a few things. First of all, the AFC and NFC wrap up. I'm going to hit that real quick. What'd you guys think about those games? Of course, if you were betting with me, you lost. I know I went 0 for 2. I had Washington and Buffalo. A little bit of that was wishful thinking for me. But Washington hung in there for a while, and and Philly was just way too much. But man, that 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 Kansas City Buffalo game was exactly what it should be, what I thought it would be, what we all thought it would be. But damn it, man, if the refs didn't find a way to get themselves once again involved in it, and I think all boiling down to that last play, or that fourth down that he got that first down. I think they got it on third down. I think they got the first down on third down. But look, it just is what it is. It goes into this whole, there's a Super Bowl logo conspiracy. Blasey and I talked about some of this stuff on the Bubba show this week, just full disclosure. I wanted to get his take on it. But we talked about the Super Bowl logo conspiracy, and he didn't know a whole lot about that. And I don't know if you guys do either, but for the last 4 years, the logos have all looked really similar. They've kind of gone with the similar style. And like I said on our Bubba show, you're in New Orleans. You make that logo something to do with jazz or purple and green and yellow to do with Mardi Gras, something. And what color is it? Oh, it's red and green. Interesting. And it's been the colors of all the teams over the last 4 years, almost like the script is in. I don't want to think that is the case. I really don't. I really just want to think these are kind of just major coincidences. But dang it sure seems to keep happening to Kansas City. And I'm not a Kansas City hater at all. I don't have a problem with them. Yes, I'm kind of tired of seeing them in the championship game. But that's any sports when that's any dynasty. You get tired of seeing them. But I have nothing but respect and Mahomes, Andy Reid, all those guys, everybody there. I have no problems with it. This is going to be fun to watch. This is the Taylor Swift Bowl. She's an Eagles fan. So what's she going to do? You know, that's what my daughter brought up last night. What's she going to do? So we're going to see, does Tay-Tay pull for the Eagles or does Tay-Tay pull for her boyfriend and the Chiefs? Who cares? We will see, though. You didn't derail me, Jay. You didn't derail me at all. It was fantastic. I needed you, brother. Terry loves the Eagles. I don't know why you would like the Eagles at all, Terry, but I think it's just because you do have a tendency to want to go against the grain. So I get it. I know you don't like the Saints or LSU. I don't think you like LSU either, do you, Terry? Which is fine. It's Big E says, my friend is a coach for the Bills, and he told me today that if you watch the overhead view of the 4th and 1, and he said it wasn't a first. Okay. All right. I mean, I can live with it. I just think you see that in ball games, every single ball game that you see in the regular season, that's called a first down every time, just about every single time. Shouldn't have come down to that. I mean, if they could do a tush push like Philly could do, they have no problems. They can't execute that, and there's just something about it. It's just like Buffalo's just not meant to go back to the Super Bowl. And it's just been a long time, man. I was pulling for them because I want to see them get back in it. Jay thinks they were hosed. Yeah, there wasn't enough evidence. I mean, I can live with that. I kind of said that at the time, like it's going to be tough to overturn it. The call on the field was short. They're going to have enough evidence to overturn it. The only view that I saw where it was close, you could see him kind of leaning. I don't know, man. I don't know. Jay hopes there's a way they could both lose. Yeah, the second game was predictable. It was, Paul, for sure. Yeah, he says if Allen doesn't turn his back or our side, he'll get that call. Yeah, I believe that. Big E's a football guy. Big E played football. So, I mean, I respect that opinion for sure. For sure, man. Yeah, we'll see. Who do y'all think? I mean, we're going to talk more about this, but initially, what are y'all's thoughts? Does Kansas City win the Super Bowl, or does Barkley run all over the field and have a field day and the Eagles win? Early thoughts. My early thoughts are that the Chiefs win, but we'll see. We'll see. There was an earthquake. Paul living northeast. I don't know I doubt you felt this, but the 4.1 magnitude quake that struck off the U.S. East Coast and near southeast of York Harbor, Maine. So, and it was felt all across Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine. And I think I even saw maybe a little in New Jersey. Of course, it was a 4.1, not a huge earthquake, but that's enough to rattle some stuff a little bit for sure. So I didn't know if any of y'all had any of that. What is up, Jason Hilton, ladies and gentlemen? What is going on? It's been a minute since you've been able to jump in alive. I know that he's been wide open. It's good to see you, brother. He thinks the Eagles will win. Paul feels that the Chiefs will win. Yeah, I mean, one thing for sure, I do think it's actually going to be a good Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a good ball game. So, I mean, other people have been pulling for a meteor. I don't really care about either fan base. Little Tigs bits here, though. Our friends and sponsors of Right Now TV, Toledo Bend Lake Country, they are going to be in New Orleans. And I just keep forgetting that the Super Bowl is in New Orleans. I think mainly because I wrote the Super Bowl off for my Saints pretty early in the season, though they started off looking like one of the best teams in the league at 2-0 and just kicking ass. But then what happened. But I didn't forget the Super Bowl was in New Orleans, but it just hadn't hit me because the season just we've just been going. But no, Toledo Bend Lake Country is going to be in New Orleans doing, they're going to be passing out some tamales from Bub T's Tamale House in there on the lake. So that's going to be fantastic, talking about the lake and just doing some tourism stuff. And if I'm able to, I'm going to go down there and get some content, go to New Orleans, get a little content. I'm going to have to talk to some Chiefs and Eagles fans. So we'll see. We will see. Yeah, Tigs should have press credentials to the bowl. You know what? I agree. And if I was thinking ahead of time, I should have applied for it. Highly doubt I would have gotten in with the Tigs Bits podcast, but it would have been hilarious if I did. Oh man. But yeah, I'm going to try to go down there and get a little content if I'm able to. Take my cameraman with me. So that should be fun. Some other news. I'm sure that you guys have seen this. Terry, I'd love to get your thoughts on this as well. Deepseek, that has been the big topic today and a lot of the news story on pretty much everywhere you go, trending and all of that stuff. And if you're not familiar with who Deepseek is, well, get ready to learn a lot more about them. You're going to be hearing about them for a while. They're a lot like ChatGPT. They're an AI company, and they were able, the thing that is concerning, and Blasey and I went into this a little bit more in depth on the Bubba show, but here's just an article that I've copied and pasted so I could read it. I'll just read what this says. The fallout from the seemingly overnight surge in interest around Deepseek was swift and severe. The company's AI model, which it claims to have developed at a fraction of the cost of rivals without meaningful sacrificing performance, sparked a $1 trillion rout in the U.S. and European technology stocks as investors started to question the spending plans of some of America's biggest companies. In fact, I have a video of this. Let me get this pulled up. There you go. This is Matthew Berman. Great video that I've watched. But right here, number one, how is Deepseek going to make money? And then he explains a little bit, and I think he can explain it way better than I can.
Endpoint to actually run the model is really, really cheap, and you don't even need it. You can run it on your own hardware. And then this tweet went viral. Deepseek's holding, and this is the Chinese company's name, is a quant company, meaning they are mathematicians tasked with building trading algorithms simply to make money. That's it. Many years already, super smart guys with top math background happen to own a lot of GPU for trading mining purposes, and Deepseek is their side project
That's
for
crazy.
squeezing those GPUs. Essentially, this is not even the main function of the company. This was a side project. So a handful of smart people got together, figured out how to make a state-of-the-art model, incredibly cheap, append the entire AI industry, and it was their side project. That's insane to think about. And this went viral. And the memes were strong. Let me show you a few of the reactions from people in the industry. So here's one from Simp for Satoshi.
So yeah, I mean, that just kind of briefly explaining it. There's all this stuff is all over the internet right now and online that you can watch more. It's obviously a huge trending topic. Terry says China is bad, but they aren't going away, and tech folks are wigging out over it right now. They are wigging out. They should be wigging out. So here's kind of my understanding. They were able to do this. They were able to make this all happen with a little bit less, I think right at $5 million is what the investment was that they put into this project. Now, if you will go back and remember, we have not banned chips going across overseas or going to China, but we've limited what they can, what they're able to send, all in hopes to keep that slowed down a little bit, because everybody's always thought the better the graphics cards, the better the chips, all that stuff, we can control it. And you need all of that processing power to be able to do all this stuff and all of that. They were able to do it with older technology that they were able to just really make work, apparently. And for $5 million instead of $5 billion, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And it is going to shake all of the chip makers, all of Silicon Valley and all that. If they can start to do this kind of stuff, that really puts America in a bad position. And just like they said today, lost $1 trillion. Will that come back? I'm sure some of it will, but if this continues, maybe we're no longer the leaders in that kind of stuff. And frankly, we don't do as much farming as we used to do. We don't make as much stuff like steel and things like that used to be the staples of this country. If we lose technology, good God, we're in trouble. So, I mean, I think there is a good reason to freak out a little bit about this stuff, because AI in some form or fashion is going to be, it ain't going away. You've let the genie out of the bottle and it is not going back in. Y'all know I've said I love ChatGPT. I've used it. I will not be downloading Deepseek at all. I don't want it. You can download it. It is in the Apple Store. However, right now, because of the demand, once all this has been coming out, people have been looking into it. People have been wanting to just voluntarily give all of their information and start talking to an AI bot from China for some damn reason. But people started doing that, but they've put a stop to it. Currently, only registration with a mainland China mobile phone number is supported. So you can download it I haven't tried, but I think you can download it. You just can't log in at the moment. So that's probably a story that, as I said on Bubba, we recorded this tonight on a Monday. As this week goes on, that story could get even deeper. It may not, but it probably will. So we'll probably have to continue to have updates on that. Paul does not like Deepseek. Nor do I, Paul. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know anything about it. I'm sure it works great, but ChatGPT is working just fine for me right now. Hilton said that he saw it online. He hadn't read into it too much yet. T. Wayne says China's bad, but they're not going away. Yeah, that's the... Sorry, I missed that. It is a CCP company. That makes me nervous. NVIDIA's stock plummeted. It did. It dropped almost 20% at one point. I'm not sure if it rallied back. 20% on the largest stock in the stock market is insane. That's a big loss. I know that I think that I saw the NASDAQ was down 3%. That's a big move in one day. And tomorrow could be more of a bloodbath. Or do you buy the dip? What do you do? What do you do? If you're holding, you got to hold. If you hadn't bought yet, could be a good opportunity to buy some. I don't think it's a good opportunity, though, based off of what the heck is happening in China. Like, I just don't think that it's I think that they may eventually start to get us on that, and it's makes me nervous. It really, really does. Yeah, yeah. Deepseek displaced ChatGPT as Apple's App Store's top app, which is wild. That is wild. Paul says it's a scary thought. No American knows a time when we weren't a great power, and it's a frightening prospect. It is. That's what makes me nervous. AI data centers are being built. Stargate. I mean, technology is. That's the thing. I know that you agree with that, Terry, but that is the way that everything is moving. Everything, the way that you could get rapid information. ChatGPT is unbelievable. I'm sure DeepSeek is, and all of these are. It's unbelievable what they can do. But the scariest thing is that they could train it for like one millionth of the price that we're doing it over here. Now, of course, some of that money's going to big wigs and the corporate guys, all of that stuff. We know all of that. It's padding pockets. Some of that's probably going to have to stop, but still, scary thoughts just makes me nervous. It just makes me nervous. Ladies and gentlemen, John Costeca! What is going on? John Costeca, good to see you in here tonight. What's Big E say? The U.S. government banned Kaspersky from being sold, but let these other Russian tech companies sell it. Oh, yes. I know I butchered that word. That's a fun thing. Y'all can put words up in chat if you want to see how dumb I am. I'll say them. It's just I'll say them, and I won't say them right. But, Yeah, well, that's exactly right, T. Wayne. That's what they've been liking it to. It might be a Sputnik moment, like when the Ruskies got ahead of us in the space race. I think that's right. Oh my, I don't ever say anything right. Perfect. I saw this evening, kind of moving on to some other stuff. A rare, you may want to check your coins, see what's going on. A rare 1976 S proof Bicentennial quarter just sold for an incredible $201,000 at an auction. It's special because it's made of 40% silver, and apparently the one that was sold was in near perfect condition, and there was a limited production run. If you have one of these, you may want to go look because it's a prize collector's item. So I would definitely go look. I think I remember seeing those. God, I hope I have one. That would be great. I'm going to look at my own stuff. I highly doubt I do, but that's insane. So worth a look. Worth a look. I don't know if you guys, if y'all have seen it advertised. I can't remember really. There's not a whole ton of love for Saturday Night Live. I don't think amongst all of you guys, but maybe so. Maybe I'm wrong. I never know. But I do know that a lot of folks have been turned off by Saturday Night Live over the years because of politics and the way they lean and stuff like that. But I've always been a huge fan of it. I love that. I just love that it's original, and it has been. So, it comes and goes. But there's a movie on Netflix right now called Saturday Night, which is basically the first night of Saturday Night Live, the chaos leading up to it, going live, and all of that. All of the actors in there were amazing. They nailed it. They sounded like the people. They looked like the people. I can't suggest it enough. I somehow or another was able to squeeze watching that in last night. It was good. It was good. Hilton says that he has a lot of Bicentennial, but doubt he has got one of those. Yeah, I know I have Bicentennial stuff, but I think I have like a $50 or something. Something that had a bigger run. Definitely doubt I have something that's worth 210,000. Big E says to please hit the thumbs up. Please do wherever you're watching this. Hit the thumbs up, share it, all of that good stuff. please. It really, really helps. It does. It does. Terry says SNL is still on. It is. It is. And it's actually, since things have loosened up a little bit here in the last few months, they've actually gotten back to what they were good at, which is not being politically correct and not trying to push a narrative and just kind of letting some of that wokeness go. And there's usually in every show, there's one funny skit, even still. And I've gone back and I've been watching a lot of those old ones from the 90s with Chris Farley and Sandler and all of my guys, you know, and some of those, like I'm watching the full shows. Most of the skits sucked. Let's just be honest. They did. And they still do. But the whole fact that it's a live show, that's what I'm always impressed. They run it live. Mistakes happen. It's unbelievable that more mistakes don't happen whenever they do it, but still crazy. Love Saturday Night Live. And just go check that movie out. It's worth it. It's like an hour and 40 minutes. If you liked it even remotely, you like Dan Aykroyd, Belushi, those guys, check it out. These actors are good. The church lady. Love the church lady. Now, isn't that special? And I love Fly on the Wall with Dana Carvey. And in fact, I just listened to Dana Carvey and David Spade. I couldn't think of his name. He's right behind me in that picture. Spade and Dana Carvey had Dennis Miller on. And what's going on, Chico? I love Dennis Miller. No one has a better vocabulary than that guy. He just says things. Remember when he was on Monday Night Football? He just would say things that just went over the top of everyone's head. I always thought that was hilarious. Sprockets. Yes. I remember when you had to watch SNL, really lost touch for some years. They did. They do. They come and go. Like in the mid-'80s, they lost touch. Then they came back. In the 90s, of course, were strong. Early 2000s with Will Ferrell and them. Then it kind of started to lean away. And I don't know. I have hopes that it's going to kind of keep getting back. And their 50th anniversary is coming up here in a couple of weeks. So that is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to watching that, seeing who shows up to it and all of that. And then the last thing, I'm going to leave us with this for tonight. I thought this was great. Hopefully he's watching. If he's not, that's okay. Need to get him on the show here soon. I think coming in one night on one of these lives would be a lot of fun. Our boy JD Marsh. We hadn't heard from him in a while. He just said, I saw a post today on his social media that he's getting the ball rolling again. And he has names for the seasonings. So people have been asking for the rubs, getting the ball rolling on these finally. Look for a new website and rubs available soon. A couple of the old ones and a couple of new releases y'all are going to love. So here's the names. And I know he told us some of these whenever we did this, but whenever we had him on last, but these are labels and they look good. He's got High on the Hog, which is sweet heat for ribs, butts, and bellies. Then he has El Rey, the king of the all-purpose rubs, which I think is going to be kind of like the El Jefe that they have now with the Breggy Bomb stuff. Blackjack, that's going to be a Cajun shake and blackening seasoning. That never came out. So if you just real quick with the story, JD Marsh started these seasonings, had seasonings, moved them over to Breggy Bomb. They formed a partnership and they labeled them under Alex Bregman's Breggy Bomb. Fortunately for JD, he has the recipes and the rights to be able to take them. That's gone away with Bregman. No longer making Breggy Bomb. JD was able to keep all of these ridiculously unbelievable rubs, and he's just going to relabel them, put them under a new label. But all the rubs will be the same. So the El Rey, I believe, is going to be like the El Jefe, and it is a fantastic one. Blackjack, the Cajun shake and blackening seasoning. We got to have some of that. He sent us some. That never made it to market with Breggy Bomb. I have used it on fish, redfish, tilapia. I've just used it on fish, and I think I've used it on too. Unbelievable. And then Brisky Business, which is his traditional Texas barbecue rub for briskets. And I haven't tried that yet either. They were talking about bringing that back out, and it had never made it. The one that we really want, and he doesn't have the announcement, but I know whenever we visited with him that the brush dust was the one that we love. Brush dust. Good Lord, it's so good. It's got turmeric in it. People are a little turned off by it because it's yellow, but man, it on chicken wings, chicken thighs, in eggs. I mean, it's just, it's so freaking good. It's kind of like the, like some of that Cajun 180. What was the voodoo? I don't have it in front of me because I've been using the fire out of it. But yeah, man. Yes. Let's see. John said, great guest. Yeah, JD was a great guest. We'll be having him back on. Some big things coming this week. Have a couple of meetings with some folks outside of here. We may be getting a title sponsor for this show. I'm just going to drop that there here at the end of this. We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed, working on that. I'm booking guests starting tomorrow for the next 3 or 4 weeks. A lot of guests going to be coming on. So a lot of stuff coming up here on Tigs tonight and on the Tigs Bit show. So we're going to call it a night, boys and ladies and gentlemen and everybody else. And look, appreciate y'all hanging in. We'll do it again tomorrow night. 7:30 seems to be a good time. I think that I can work 7:30. I want us to get consistent and have the same time every night. I think that's important. 7 kind of pushes it for me a little bit. 8 o'clock kind of pushes it for some of my East Coast folks. So I think 7:30 may be a good, happy medium. So with that said, appreciate all of you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this, go check out all of our content, watch everything on YouTube so we can keep our watch hours up. Until then, see y'all tomorrow.
It's Tigs tonight.